Hi Aries, welcome to your March 2023 Astro-Tarot scope with me, Raphael from Reydiant Reality. It's an absolute pleasure to have you. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for joining me. Quick note, these readings are for your sun, moon and ascendant sign. So whether you're a sun, moon or rising sign Aries, this is for you. I would advise that you watch for your ascendant first and then your sun and your moon, because they'll still be relevant in different ways. That being said, remember they are general readings. Not everything's going to resonate with everybody, and that is just fine. You should always use your own discernment. So I said I would be bringing you new content, and here new content is. So you're going to have to let me know in the comments if you love it, if you loathe it, and what you love and what you don't. So with that said, I would like to bless my decks of cards with all forms of love, light, peace, prosperity and abundance, and I pray that the messages that come through are ultimately clear and concise, and they help you on your path to your highest vibrational good. So we are starting the month with the transit of Saturn into the sign of Pisces. Now for you, or should I say for all of us, this will be happening on the 7th of March. Now, for those of you that are, in fact, for all of you, right? For all of you Aries, especially for those of you ascendant Aries, this is going to be Saturn moving into your 12th house on the 7th of March, right? Saturn, the big hard taskmaster, lord of tasks, lord of time, limitations, structure, boundaries even, is moving into your 12th house. Now, it's said in ancient astrology that Saturn exalts in the 12th house, and what that means is it does good work there, right? It's going to reveal and, it's definitely going to reveal things, and it's also going to help you build an infrastructure in your deepest self, right? So this could be in your subconscious, absolutely, but it could also be you getting more responsible about removing or releasing whatever your self-sabotaging tendencies are. So this could actually be a very good thing in a lot of ways. So I'm going to pop these here. And the fact that you've got Saturn moving into the 12th, and Saturn is exalted there, right? Pisces is intangible energy. Saturn is structure. So this is where sort of opposite energies, your cards have spoken, where opposite energies in a sense kind of collide, right? Which in a lot of ways is actually a very good thing, because we've got Neptune there as well. Neptune is saying this is what the dreams are, and Saturn is saying this is how we build them. So for you personally, you have the Six of Cups, you've got the Wheel of Fortune, and you have the Four of Pentacles. So what this tells me is the movement of Saturn into your 12th house, into the sign of Pisces, is bringing you potentially reconnections with your past in some way, shape or form. The Six of Cups with the Wheel of Fortune is absolutely that. But on top of this, you've got the Four of Pentacles. So the re-emergence, or should I say the entering of Saturn into your 12th house, which actually represents the past as well. This could be a past lucrative endeavor or opportunity that comes up for you or comes back into your world. For some of you, this could be something that you've really loved for a long time or wanted to be a part of your life. Maybe an old dream or an old... like an old dream or an old wish or desire. This could be a reconnection. For some of you, this could be reconnection with a place from your past. So not necessarily a person or even, a job, which for some of you it could be. It could be a lucrative endeavor, or it could be a return to living in a place that you once lived before. So very, very interesting. So the next transit that we are noting this month is the movement of Pluto into the sign of Aquarius. Now this is a big deal. Sorry, I'm just putting all the cards back in the deck at separate intervals, otherwise you just get a clump of all the same cards and there's nothing more annoying. Now that being said, Pluto, the energy of transformation, the energy of destruction and death and rebirth, is moving into, for you, the 11th house, right, of social circles, social networks. I don't know if you can see that, but a card has just jumped out of the deck. There it is. And look at that, right? It's the High Priestess. So this could be, for some of you, this could be a very big transformation in the psychic energy that you have between your groups. This could be that you know, once this move happens into your 11th house of community, especially larger communities as well. It's not like the 3rd house where this is like your local neighborhood. This is like your larger communities, groups that you're attached to, social media connections, you know, connections with the wider world, and your higher goals and aspirations are all found in the 11th. The fact that you've got the High Priestess here means that in some regard, some hidden element of your life, maybe that you haven't shared before, could be coming to the forefront. Maybe you start to tell people, you know what, I've been studying astrology for the last however long. I'm training to become a medium. Like, there's so many ways that this could go. Now, on top of that, you've got the Magician card. Wow, look at that, right? So that's a very rare signature in tarot. You've got the High Priestess and the Magician. And this combination actually speaks to formal magical training. So for some of you, you could be studying how to become an astrologer. You could be studying how to be a tarot reader. You could be studying to become a medium. You might have found a witch or a magical mentor of some kind could be coming into your world. With this change, with this move of Pluto into your 11th, you're going to start to really need deeper connections. Anything that is surface level, anything that is kind of frivolous or doesn't really have any weight, you're going to start to really get rid of or no longer resonate with. And so maybe this is that you know, for a while, you get rid of your social media presence, or you start to sort of scale it back. Now, what I find really interesting about this is, you got the Four of Cups here. So how you connect to groups and the kinds of things that you're learning, taking on board, or immersing yourself in within your communities is definitely coming up for a shift. You could be communicating to somebody this month and for the next 3 months, right? Remember, Pluto moving into the sign of Aquarius, it's only until like late June. It's only going to be there for like 3-ish months, and then it's going to come back into Capricorn, and then in January of 2024 it will come into Aquarius for good for the next 20 years. So this is a heads up, right? Pay attention to what you're drawn to, who you're drawn to, and maybe even who shows up for you at this time, because it's going to be really telling of what's going on here. And you may be very much called to work on, or through some kind of connection, or how you're seen, or maybe the goals that you have for the future really take a big sort of side swing in some way, shape or form. Now, what I find even more intriguing about this combination then is the Magician with the Four of Cups can sometimes speak to you needing to talk about how you feel about something. And in order for you to move forward, right, Saturn's going to be in your 12th, really getting into the nitty gritty of your psyche and really helping you understand the deeper aspects of self. Whereas this Pluto transit is going to start to really say to you, okay, well, Saturn's telling you that these are the things that need to change in the heart of who you are. And Pluto is coming along to say, well, the groups that you're associated to, or the things that you're connected to by association, are shaping who you are at those deeper levels. What are you going to do about it? All right, so your final transit, the final big, well, it's not the final transit, there's a lot of transits every month, but the biggest ones I'll be focusing on, and the next one is the move of Mars, your ruling planet, into the sign of Cancer. So Mars is moving into Cancer, which is the sign of its fall, right? So what this means is Mars, it doesn't necessarily do very good work in the sign of Cancer, but there is a caveat to this. Your ruling planet has just come, well, not just, it's come out of its retrograde and is now tracking forward. And so what this means is you have a real opportunity here. Is when Mars moves into Cancer, it will only have one job. When Mars is in Gemini, Gemini is this, flitting here, there and everywhere. Mars likes direct focus and action. And so when it moves into Cancer, all right, yes, it's the sign of its fall, but it's no longer retrograde and it's no longer having to do this. It can just go forward and say, this is what I'll be focused on. And what you're going to be focused on is very much to do with potentially home, family, property, defending the home, shoring up the home, maybe releasing stuff from the home, because Mars moving into the sign of Cancer for you is your 4th house, right? For those of you that are ascendant Aries to a lesser degree, but still very relevant, Sun and Moon Aries as well, this is going to be a shift, right? And when Mars comes into the space, you might start doing more repairs. You might start getting really proactive about what you're doing in the home. You might start cleaning it up. You might be, starting to do the whole spring clean. It wouldn't be a surprise. So with this, you've got the 3 of Swords. So you're definitely releasing something over the course of, once Mars moves into Cancer. And remember, when this happens, it's just the start of the transit. That's what I'm looking at here, the start of all of these transits, because it's a big deal. There's a lot of forward momentum in this month. There is something being released from the home or the family, potentially. On top of that, you've got the Moon card, right? So interesting, the fact that you've got the Moon, this could be a release of a past challenge, a resurfacing of a past challenge when it comes to the family or the familial ties. It is very possible, and it's something that I want you to be very mindful of, all right? The other thing with the Moon card, because it represents the past, and this is coming into your 4th house, this could literally be about family ties, ancestors. This could be, and I touch wood, I hope I'm wrong on this front, it could be the release of a burden or an issue that's happened within the family, but it is a potential here as well that there could be a resurfacing of an illness of some kind. I hope that's not the case. And then finally we have the Hermit card, right? So the Hermit is very much about journeys, and look at this. In a lot of ways, for some of you, this might be a journey that you're taking back to a place of origin. So if you're living in a different country to the one that you're born in, this could be a trip home. And it may be a trip home for, potentially not the nicest of reasons. I really hope I'm wrong on that front, but it is a potential. Remember, Mars is a malefic planet, and even though it's your ruling planet, it still has the same meanings for everybody. It just acts a little differently for you because it's your ruler. This might be a month where you start to really get very clear in your understandings of what in your emotional foundations really needs to shift, where it is that you need to not even go in different directions, but be more honest with yourself about what's taking place. And the fact that all of these transits are happening this month, they're kind of working in a triplicity to change different aspects of you that can really enhance your life path moving forward. All right, so let's have a look at your different sectors of life. So for your actions and interactions with the world at large over the course of okay, and the cards have spoken once more. That one seems to want out. So you got the 10 of Swords, the 4 of Wands, and the 4 of Pentacles. So 2 4s. What do we see? 2 4s. 2 4s represents insomnia. With the 10 of Swords present, this may be that you finally get round to sorting out your sleeping arrangement, right? So for some of you, this could literally be you start getting proactive and saying, this thing about not being able to sleep, I'm finally going to approach it. I'm finally going to do something about it. For others, remember as well, 4 energy. This really, for me, speaks to the home, the property. And when you look at these things, look at the 4 of Wands, right? Look at the 4 of Pentacles. These are about your foundations. These are about your the structures in your life. So this could be, for some of you, you might be letting go of or deciding to move out of your home. Very possible. For others, this is really you getting to grips with your sleeping pattern and paying attention to that. For your pop these here, work and studies, you've got the Emperor, that's you, with the 5 of Pentacles and the Lovers card, right? So the first thing that really strikes me here, because that Emperor card, that's you, right? That's your card as an Aries. Next to the 5 of Pentacles, when it comes to work and studies, there could potentially be disputes over pay this month because you've got the 5 of Pentacles and you've got the Lovers card. This might not necessarily be the best month to ask for a pay rise. It may not necessarily be the best month to go against the grain. Remember, your ruling planet is on the 25th of March, but even still, your ruling planet is going to be coming into the sign of its fall. So this means you're not as strong as you usually are. This may be a month where work and studies, it's better for you to kind of go with what is rather than try to change it or shift it because you don't like it. This is not a month to push boundaries. I'm sorry to say, this is a month to kind of find a way to toe the line. If you are working for somebody else, I mean, we'll talk about that when we get to the next set of reads. Now, for your love and relations, you've got the Ace of Cups, beautiful, with the Knight of Swords and the High Priestess. Okay, so this is actually really lovely. I will say, this does look to me like you are, for those of you that are partnered, married, or in long-term commitments, this is you potentially going to war on behalf of your partner, or your partner going to war on your behalf. This is I've got your back energy. This is I'm standing for you, you're standing for me, and we are standing together kind of energy. And for that reason, I actually really like this. I think this could be, you know, it's certainly the love sector looks to be the easiest and the warmest so far. What I will also say is, for those of you that are single, this could literally be, and it comes completely left of field, right? Someone comes to you and says, did you know that this person is really attracted to you and wants to date you? And you're like, huh? You what now? What, the WTF? And then with the High Priestess, this is the revealing, right? So somebody is going to share with you that you have a secret admirer, right? So there's someone here potentially that finds you very alluring, potentially very attractive. I am going to say this, because it is the High Priestess and it's next to the Knight of Swords. Will warn against any form of clandestine affair. And if you are in one, be mindful that this month, certainly by the time we get into the first, at the latest, the second week of the month, I wouldn't be surprised if that has come out in the dirty laundry, as they say. So if you're into any of all of that kind of behavior, just watch out, because it may at this time come up to bite. For your money and materials, you have the Queen of Wands, the Five of Swords, sorry, and the Hanged Man, right? So when it comes to money and finances, this month may be a month where you're having to set some really clear boundaries around finances, and that could potentially get a little bit loud. For some of you, this might be family and money matters are getting in the way of a relationship or causing problems or issues within a relationship. That's possible as well. The other thing with this Hanged Man here, again, there's this thing about, you know, because look, you've got the High Priestess underneath it. You've got the Hanged Man on top of that, and then you've got cards of challenge right next to it. And so what this really says to me is, when it comes to money, this month you need to be very mindful of the conversations that you're having. This is really a time to be honest around finances, but to demand honesty around finances as well. Now, that being said, when it comes to your physical health and vitality this month, look, I like this for new regimes. I don't like this for adding more drugs or chemicals or whatever to enhance the health. I'm not a doctor. I can't give you medical advice. What I am saying is, if you can find natural alternatives to the things that you're looking for, you know, if you can't get it from food, my personal opinion is you probably shouldn't be having it. You know, there's so many, like, don't get me wrong, gosh, you know, as we all know, sugar is Rafi's vice, which is not necessarily the best for you, but it's at least better for you than a whole bunch of processed junk out there, right? And so, you know, we can debate that for whatever. Just be mindful of your health when it comes to this month. Now, finally, when it comes to your home and environment, like proper, for some of you, this could be a change of location. For a select few of you, this could be, especially if you live with someone else, whether this is a partner, whether it's a friend, whether it is a, you know, maybe you're in a shared house or whatever. This could literally be that somebody announces, I'm moving out, you know, for whatever reason. Okay, so let's have a look at your weeks of the month. All right. So your first week of March. Okay. you've got the Empress, right? So the first week of the month could actually be very nice. It could be, you know, quite warm and luxurious. I am going to say this to you. It may very well, not guaranteed, but it may very well bring you opportunities to invest in things, or at least enhance your material experience. You just want to be conscious that there's a lot of change in the air at the moment. So something that you feel is solid may not be as solid as you thought it was. For the second week of the month, you have the Strength card, right? So let me just do this. Let me see if I can... Yeah. All right, so you've got the Strength card. Sorry if you can't see that. It's quite bright, and I've got all kinds of things set up so that you can actually see everything. It's hilarious. Now, the second week of the month with this Strength card, let me put it here. Can make sure you can see that. Let me just do this. That's better. Right, so you've got the Strength card. Now, what I will say to you, the second week of the month is going to require you to kind of get really honest, and potentially to pay more attention to your physical body. And specifically, the second week of the month, your throat, your neck, and your voice is going to be a vulnerable point. There's a few reasons for that. I'm not going to go into it, so otherwise it just ends up being a really long video. But I hope that's something that you can consider and take into consideration. The second week of the month, though, you might have to get really honest about how something actually is, or somebody may highlight something to you and you kind of think, wow, this is a bitter pill to swallow and I don't know how to get past it. For the third week of the month, you have the Star card, right? Now, I love this because it's hopeful energy. This is actually where the month switches and shifts, and it's also where we come into your season. So if you are a March-born Aries, happy damn birthday to you. All the usual rules apply. Remember to fill the day of your birthday with a little bit of everything that you want your entire month ahead to have in it, year ahead, sorry, to have in it. You're imprinting those universal energies, so little token pieces and bits of everything that you want. With the Star card here, this does suggest that there is a hopeful start to Aries season, and you might feel this as like a really dynamic shift. There's such a powerful forward momentum energy this month anyway. 3 planets are moving forward and changing signs. One of them is your ruling planet. Yes, it's coming into the sign of its fall, but the Star card basically says whatever you are setting into motion now, it does have far-reaching ripples and potentially consequences, so choose wisely. The other thing, this is a very hopeful card, right? So if whatever news you have in the second week of the month is quite challenging, the third week is going to bring some kind of relief from it. Now, what's really, really interesting to me in my little tarot geek brain, you've got the Strength card, which represents Leo. You've got the Star card, which represents Aquarius. So these cards represent direct opposites in the zodiac. But the Star card is number 17, so technically you have 2 8s here. 2 8s represents new knowledge, new information, and new wisdom that are coming in to help you. So finally, you have the moon, right? So the moon and the star is a very, very interesting combination, and there's so much that I could say about this, but what I'm going to simplify it to say is this. This fourth week of the month, you may very well become aware of, or it may be shared with you. And it's interesting because two times the High Priestess came up for you, right? This month, something might be shared with you that kind of, it's not necessarily that it throws you for a loop. It's more a case of, okay, wow, I didn't see that coming. Right? And it might be something that does kind of, for a minute, you're a little bit confused about how to deal with it. You don't really know what to do with it or how to kind of work it into your life at this moment. You just kind of have to go with it. It may also be a revelation of some kind where you realize someone's either been working at cross purposes to you, or maybe you realize somebody has not had your best interests at heart all along. I'm really sorry to say that, but it is a possibility. Now, the other thing with the moon card, obviously, remember it's a oh, come on, brain. The moon card is the past. So that may also rear its head in some regard. And with the star card, it could be an old friend reconnects, you know, somebody that you were once very close to. It could be that you're touching base with somebody. It could even be as well that you're reconnecting with a past, you know, group of people. Maybe you're going back to an old dance class. Maybe you're, I don't know, rejoining a walking circle, or, you know, it could be anything. Okay. So, your Human Design Oracle deck cards for your new moon and full moon. You have the Gate 17, right? So this is for the full moon in Virgo, which also happens on the 7th of the month. This card basically talks about letting bygones be bygones, right? It's not necessarily about forgiveness. It's basically about letting everybody have their own opinion and not worrying too much about letting it sway yours. The other thing with this card as well that I've found is sometimes we need that friction. Sometimes we need something or someone in our lives to kind of check us, so that we can, one, you know, check in with whether we actually believe what we're saying or what we say we would believe in. And two, if your ideas and your faith and your beliefs are questioned and they fall apart, maybe you need new ones. For your full moon, your new moon, which is on the, I believe it's the 23rd of March this year. So if you're celebrating your birthday on that time, it's going to be a big moment for you. So for this, you have the Gate 20 and the Now. And the message behind this card is exactly what you would think it is. Bring yourself into the present moment. I think you're going to be able to do more of this as your ruling planet Mars moves into the sign of Cancer. Just because it will start to get you more in touch with what you're feeling. Whether you like it or not, whether you want to or not, you will be a lot more sensitive. So this is something to consider. Now, this card is also about seeing things exactly as they are. With the double High Priestess that came up for you this month, I definitely feel that's going to be the case for a lot of you. It's about having to really see things exactly as they are, not how you would like them to be. All right, so with that said, I wish you all an abundance of all of that good stuff. Have a fantastic month. Let me know in the comments. Did you love it? Did you loathe it? How are you finding these? And take care, and I will see you soon.